guys, I'm Daniel LeBeau. Welcome back to the Fourth Revolution, where I discuss stocks for your portfolio of the future. So I'm going to be discussing 5G and kind of unveiling the ambiguity surrounding this idea. So what is 5G? 5G is the fifth generation of mobile networking, and it's coming after obviously 4G LTE, and it's going to be a higher frequency radio wave, which allows for higher speeds, lower latencies, as well as more devices able to connect to the same towers. So some of the things to come out of this is going to be everything being connected to a mobile network. It's going to kind of make ISP, Ethernet, cable generated internet obsolete if we can truly come out with true 5G, which will be ostensibly 100 times faster than 4G technology. So today I'm going to dive into a few stocks that are important in this 5G revolution, as well as some moves that you can make to take advantage of this new wave of technological advances. So T-Mobile, ticker TMUS, is considered to be the best and largest 5G provider in the US today, having provided, they said, 250 million devices with this 5G capabilities. Not saying that everybody has a 5G device. The iPhone hasn't come out with their 5G technology yet, and many other smartphone holders are still waiting out to buy their 5G technology. So one of the things that T-Mobile does a little bit differently than some of the other players is that they're using low band 5G, which is a little bit easier. It's not a little bit, a lot bit easier to implement than the high band 5G. And it's very similar to 4G. Its speeds are not much faster. And it really doesn't make that big of a difference. If you've ever used the 5G on T-Mobile, you will notice that the difference is not material. Nonetheless, this company, after its merger with Sprint, is taking off. This year alone, we've had 40% gains despite the pandemic. You can see the pandemic didn't even take out that much of its growth, and it continues to shoot further and further up. People are looking at price targets around 130 for the next 12 months, and we're sitting at 110. So the stock still has a good amount of upside potential to it. They said they're going to start working on the mid-band to high-band 5G technology in the years moving forward. With the Sprint merger, they own some of that high-band and mid-band, some of those wavelengths that they didn't have prior to the merger. So look for this company to continue to grow. It actually just surpassed AT&T as the second largest mobile network provider in the US today. So this company is on a tear, and I expect its stock to continue upward. So for Verizon Wireless, Verizon Communications, what's called now VZ, is ostensibly the king of cellular networks, and this company has stayed relatively buoyant with low volatility throughout this pandemic trade. And that's because not many people are switching out of Verizon. This is a company that stayed steady for years on end and provides a consistent 4% dividend. And this company is, in my mind, leading the 5G charge with its mid to high band frequencies that it's focused on. So with the mid to high band frequencies, these don't travel as far, which means you need more towers and shorter spans of distance to enable more people to connect to this network. And that's going to be the real challenge with this 5G rollout. They're in over 30 cities around the US today, and they continue to branch out from there. But once again, not a lot of people have the 5G iPhone yet, and it doesn't really need to be implemented until 5G mobile devices have caught up to the technology. So I like Verizon as a long-term play. I think the stock is going nowhere but up, but it's going to be slow. You're not going to be getting any kind of major gains that you would from a player like T-Mobile, but it's going to be a consistent dividend yielder, over 4% annually, so you can rely on that. And I don't expect too much volatility out of the stock. So I think it's a strong long-term play for some of you apprehensive investors out there. And as you can see here, We are bouncing off this 50-day moving average, and we just passed this golden cross here, which is a great technical indicator for upward momentum. So Splunk is kind of a read-through trade for this 5G revolution. So with the 5G revolution, we're going to have a massive amount of machine data being generated daily, and it's only going to grow as more things become connected to the internet. Like I said, 5G is meant to connect everything, and with more machine data, there's going to be more need for, analyzing and providing actionable results on this machine data, and that is exactly what Splunk does. They control machine data, ingesting and digesting segments, and they're able to do this in real time. And this is a necessity that I think is going to be a competitive advantage for companies moving forward, as everything relies on speed and the ability to leverage their machine data and their data in general in real time. So keep an eye on this stock. I think this stock is a winner in the long run. Right now, we are trading right around its highs in February, coming down to the 200-day moving average, and I think the stock has a massive upward potential. Though a lot of analysts are giving this a price target between $250 to $300 a share. Right now, we're trading at 176, and I think this stock is a buy today. So Nvidia has been a real winner in this pandemic trade, driving up about 108% so far, sitting at this $500 level per share. And this is even in spite of the fact that we saw a pretty big dip off of the 590 we hit in early September. So all of tech kind of got a pullback off of these relatively frothy levels, but Nvidia stayed pretty buoyant, remaining above this 50-day moving average. And I think this stock still has a further upside. So analysts right now are wrestling with this ARM deal. So they're buying ARM off of SoftBank for $40 billion. And a lot of people are saying this is a steal for this, behind-the-scenes semiconductor innovator. So what ARM is it's a number of different CPU technologies that are kind of controlling the markets that they're in. So ARM technology is in 95% of smartphones today, and it's going to remain that way throughout the 5G revolution, and it's going to give Nvidia a whole leg in the door of the smartphone industry. So Nvidia right now obviously is focusing on their GPUs in the AI development, and their combination with this mobile semiconductor provider is going to be a huge opportunity for expansion in their portfolio. So watch out for that. Their deal is still under regulatory issues, I guess you could say. It still has to pass through 3 different regulatory regions: the US, the UK, and China. And obviously, we could see some speed bumps and hurdles with that China approval. But keep an eye out for that. I think this stock still has an enormous amount of upside to it, especially if this deal goes through. So keep an eye out for that. And I think we're going to remain above this 50-day moving average. It's going to remain a strong support. As you can see, we have just torn up from the bottoms here. And this $500 level is going to be a level to focus on moving forward. So this 5th generation of mobile networking is undoubtedly going to change the way that the world connects. And on its way in, it might make Ethernet and wired internet connections obsolete. So watch out for this technology to roll out. Obviously, there's a lot of low-band 5G already out there. So the real definition changer for 5G is going to be these mid to high band frequencies, which we're seeing pop up in different metropolitan areas around the US. So watch out for the technology boom coming out of this, which we should see in the next few years. So keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on the stocks that I just discussed, as they do have a large amount of upside potential with 5G being the catalyzer. So thanks, guys, and look forward to speaking to you guys next time.